Hello and welcome to Heaven's Peacemaker Designs podcast. Good evening and welcome to my craft room that is in progress of waiting to try to get finally dry so we could drywall it. It's been a good day. I hope your day went well as well. I hope this nasty flu and cold is avoiding everybody, and if you get it, I hope it passes quickly. I know there's quite a few people around me have succumbed to it. I just want to let you know that we are up to 15 subs. 15. Last time I spoke to you, I only had 5. So I'm up to 15, and I am thrilled. But I do want to give a warm hug and thanks to Jane of Scraptasicyarnspodcast. My tongue just doesn't like to go around some words. And I thank you, Jane. I just give you a warm hug and thank you for being, letting my podcast be one of the names that you put in today's video of us small podcasters. Thank you for watching my videos so you got to get to know me and what this podcast is about. I do hope to make podcasts about 10 to 15, no more than 15 minutes long, because there's a lot of wonderful podcasts to watch out there, a lot of creativity people, and so I don't want to hold your attention too long, so you could move on. In the video, Jane said she wasn't too sure if I knit. And yes, I do knit. A couple years ago, I retired my knitting needles because I know patience is supposed to lead to perseverance, but I had to get rid of those needles. They just weren't working for me. But I do knit here. This is a shawl I made for my daughter for her second year of college. She went to college in Milwaukee, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, UWM. And she was 10 hours away from home. She went through a lot in her first year. Besides the typical homesickness, and she didn't mind being on her own. She adapted to that pretty quick. But she was overwhelmed. Some of the classes that she was taking, this was like, besides her senior year in high school, this was like her first time being out there on her own without any learning support. She had reading comprehension issues before and with math. But she was on her own and she had to take Spanish. They would not let her take American Sign Language and let it be considered a second year or a 2-year language. But when she graduated, of course, they started explaining them, because they taught American Sign Language. And they didn't accept it as a language until after Heather graduated. Go figure. But I made this shawl in the colors of her blankie when she was a little girl. It's my own design. I put the seated stitch on the outside to prevent it from, curling up. Here's the knitted side. Stockinette or garter. I gotta learn that, okay? So she would use this and hug herself or wrap it around herself when she studied, when she needed a hug from mom. So I do knit. I gotta pick my needles up. Some of you guys out there, I'm starting to get the urge to pick them up again, but I'm having too much fun crocheting because I know knitting, I'll rip too much out. So I want to give you a update on one of my whips. And the whips I showed you before is the pink crochet. I'm trying to find the picture. It's that shawl from Two of Wands. Here. And it's a paid purchase, or it's a paid. I'm sorry for that cut out and cut back. I was showing the update on my pink shawl, and I was showing the whole shawl, describing exactly what I was doing and what it was about. But since it's a paid pattern, I didn't know I should have been talking about kind of like what I was doing. So I'm just going to edit that out. I'm still trying to learn all this protocol. But here's my shawl, okay? I'm about 3/4 of the way done. But here's the shawl again, okay? And it's by Two of Wands. And I believe I bought this one off of Ravelry. Was it Ravelry? Yeah, I don't think she has, I'm not too sure if she has an Etsy shop. Oh, and Billy, if you're watching this, see, I did print off that shawl. Now this is a free one. Billy, I did print that one off. I just loved it. And you said there was too much reading for you. So I'm going to use this chart just like you did, okay? So, so I went to Walmart, and I'm going to add a like 5-second clip at the end of this. I went there just to see, you know, I go to Walmart all the time. Sometimes they call it Hellmart, excuse the language. But I go, well, at least ours is extremely busy. I don't know about yours. So I went in, and I hear everyone talk about the yarn section, and I never looked at the yarn section in Walmart. I'm sorry, I was always at Joann's. Most buy my yarn at Joann's. Michael's, I don't know, there's something about Michael's I don't like. So, I walked into Walmart not planning to buy anything, and I bought two. I bought the Mandela, and Crystal said to buy two with the same centers, and these are two identical ones, and of the same dye lot. Go figure. So I was lucky. Nothing in mind, but this will probably be a shawl that I will give away to someone that God puts in my mind, but I got to find a pattern I want to do for that. Now this, I love the feel of this one. So, of course, Walmart had different things that my Joann's didn't have, and you guys were talking about some of these things, and I was like, I never saw it. That's why I'm sad Pat Catan's is moving over to Michael's, because they had Lion Brand things too, and the different lines of it. But I found this coffee. I don't drink coffee. Comfy Cotton Blend, okay? And this is called Stained Glass. And I got two of the same dye lot. Both of these are weight 3, okay? Both of these are wash and dryable. This is 50% cotton and 50% acrylic. 7 ounces, 392 yards, or 200 grams and 358 meters. And it takes 7 US knitting needles of 4.5 mm, a J/10 hook, or a 6 mm hook. Again, this is called stained glass. I got 2 because I know if I buy 1, I'm going to run out of it. So if I buy 2, I have something I know I can make of decent size. I ask you guys, do not tell my husband again. Okay, so what are we up to? 4 minutes. Oh, that's right. This is part 2. So I was going to talk a little bit about Heaven's Peacemaker. I have a division side thing of it. It's called Heaven's Blankies. And Heaven's Blankies is a 40 by 50 quilt that I will do a video series on it. I do want to offer the pattern free if you use it for charity. I don't care what type of charity, if it's for a church charity, for missions, or if it's for a local charity, hospital, stuff like that. I don't care, but if you use it for free, I just ask that you use it for charity. I always say the patterns are inspired by God. Where's that saying? I don't know. But it's a 40 by 50. This is just one of many quilts I had made. It's just squares with a 5-inch bind border. We just started using wraparound bindings. Been slowly improving on them to make them quicker. When I hold the workshops, we have women come in with all skill levels, people who never touch a sewing machine. There's people who just want to iron. There's people who just want to, I teach them how to cut fabric using the rotary cutter. And then there's people, they just want to sit down at a table and chat and knot the quilts. And then all the stuff I get is donated, pure donated. Of course, I sometimes buy things and put it in there, but everything I get is donated. And we also make receiving blankets, okay? And it's cotton on one side, or flannel on one side, and cotton on the other side. Again, in future videos, I will give you more information about them and how it started. And right now, when I return back to work, had to return back to the workforce, the ministry went to the wayside, and I am trying to put spark back into it, but dealing with chronic fatigue all the time and fibromyalgia, it's not a small feat. It's just something I have to ask the Lord to help me with and get me back up going. I know He wants me to, and I know He'll provide, but I just, right now I don't have the energy yet. So I will sign off for now. There was a few more things I want to talk about, but I'll save it for a future time. So may you guys have a good rest of the week, and God bless. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so I decided to stop in Walmart. And I says, Beth, you're just going to look at the yarn. You're not going to buy. You're not going to buy. Okay? But these are from the same dialogue, even with the same center, and these are from the same dialogue. So I guess I know where my birthday one is going to.